Hello, Chris from My Stamp Lady. I'm here to show you some of the products from Stampin' Up and how you can use them together to make a really fun summer card. So I have the Cool Treats stamp set and the coordinating Frozen Treats framelits, the stitched shapes here, and the marble stamp. And then of course I will be using a few other products along the way, and I'll tell you about them as I go. So this card is all based on a piece of Whisper White. It's the thick Whisper White, which is the heavier cardstock, and it's a half a sheet, 5.5 by 8.5, scored at 4 1/4 inches. You can find a printable PDF with all the dimensions of all the cardstock I'm using and their printable step-by-step directions on my blog at mystamplady.com. So I'm going to set this aside right now. I've folded that, and that's ready to go for the card base. So I am going to work with the ice cream or the frozen treats, and I'm going to cut out 3 of these scoops of ice cream, and then the dish, and let's see, we're going to also need a cherry. So I will run through the Big Shot, the dish, and then I just grabbed out of my scrap pile. You just really need a small amount of real red. And then I have Rich Raspberry, Whisper White, and Powder Pink. And I'm going to have to run these through 3 times to get my 3 scoops of ice cream. So I am using the magnetic platform, and I'm going to run as many as I can at one time. So I'll set up the different dies on the platform and then run them through. And after I've run these through the Big Shot, I will come back and we will begin to put them together. Okay, so now I have my 3 scoops of ice cream, and I'm taking the little sprinkles piece from the set, and with Early Espresso we're putting a few sprinkles onto each scoop of ice cream. You can also, there's other fun dies in there. You could put like a chocolate topping and a few different things, but I decided just to put the sprinkles on there. Next I have my dish, and I want to emboss that, and I'm using the Sparkle Embossing Folder. So I will also, I've switched out the magnetic platform for the regular Big Shot platform, but I also want to emboss a strip of cardstock for my card front, and I want to make this into a banner. So I'm using the banner punch. Now this banner punch, if you push it all the way in so that the paper touches the back, it's going to take a chunk off. This is a 2-inch piece of paper, so I'm sliding it in the 2-inch slot. But instead of sliding it all the way to the back, I'm just sliding it in so that I can see where the corners touch the edges. So my corner is lined up there, my corner is lined up there, and then I get a banner, and I don't have to worry about how much extra I need. So let's put this inside the embossing folder along with my dish, and I can kind of line it up so that I can see where my sparkles are, and then I will run this through the Big Shot. Okay, now I need my marbled background for my ice cream sundae. So I'm going to take in that marbled stamp, and with the powder pink, I'm going to ink that up. And when I have a large stamp like this, I'll lay it on its back and ink it up with my ink pad upside down. It's raised, so it's easy to do, and you can get everywhere onto that ink, into that stamp surface. So now I've got my paper here, and I'm just going to roll over, and I'm going to actually stand up, give a little more pressure to this, make sure I got that covered, and there is my marbled background. And now I'm going to take the stitched shape, and I'm using the largest square, and I'm going to run this through the Big Shot. I've switched back to the magnetic platform for this one, and I want a rectangle instead of a square. So you're going to see how I swap that or change that from the square to the rectangle. First of all, I run it through once. Okay, so there's my rectangle or square. I want to switch it to a rectangle, and so I'm going to go over about this far. So you know, my rectangle is going to be about 2 inches, so I'm lining the top and bottom up so it's inside of the die. I don't want to cut that off. So I'll line that up. There we go. And then I'm just going to cut this portion off. So then when you take it out, I have a rectangle instead of the square. Now I know that I will also need a Rich Raspberry oval to mat my focal piece or my sentiment, so I'm just going to run that through quickly. So I have that cut out also. I'm going to pull in my powder pink piece, and with Rich Razzleberry, we're going to stamp the sentiment which says, "You're the cherry to my sundae." Ink that up and just stamp that down and up. And I'm going to use the pretty label and punch that out. Might not have the name of that exactly right, but you'll find it on my blog at mystamplady.com, and there I'll have the numbers and everything for this so that you can order. So before I put everything together, I'm going to do one more little background technique, and I'm going to use one of the masks, and this is the set that is called the Pattern Party Decorative Masks, and I'm going to use this one. This set also comes with the fun brick background. It's probably the other one I've used the most. I've used them all, which is nice because sometimes you kind of have one that you don't use, but I have used them all. This is the clouds, that's a medallion, and then we have the bricks. But I'm going to use this design here, and with the pool party and a sponge dauber, I'm just going to add this pattern across the front of my card base, and I'm kind of just going to do about the middle section here. So just going in circles, going over the center part, and I'm going to run from top to bottom. You can make it as dark or as light as you would like it. There we go. Okay, so there's my pattern through the middle, and let's put down, I'm using the Fast Fuse. I'm going to place down first of all my banner, and we'll put that down about right there. Might use a few mini glue dots also when I'm assembling some of these smaller pieces. Okay, so now we just have to build the sundae. Put down my Fast Fuse. And it's a little quicker, I think, a little easier with the dimensionals. So just put it down over the top, pick up the little glue dot. I said dimensionals, I meant mini glue dot. Put down that one. Then when I get to my cherry, it's going to be a really, really tiny mini glue dot. So what I'm going to have to do is fold one in half, and I'll just grab a pair of scissors, kind of fold that in half. And this Rich Razzleberry scoop of ice cream kind of sticks up over the top, but that's okay. That's what I wanted. I'm fine with that, and that's what's nice about having a die cut. I'm going to put a couple of dimensionals between here. Let's give it a little bit of lift from the background, and take those covers off. These covers can be very sticky sometimes, not necessarily like glue stuck, but a little bit of static stuck, and they go with you lots of places. So, okay, let's put that down, and then this will help me with the placement of my ice cream. So I'm going to put my ice cream about there. So let's put that ice cream down, put my sentiment down. Okay, now I need to get that cherry, so I'm going to grab I have a craft knife right here. Put that cherry on there. So what I do is I just take a little mini glue dot, roll it over on itself to make it smaller so that it doesn't stick out, and we'll put that on top. To finish up the front of this card, I'm going to grab some of the little rhinestones. Now if you order rhinestones today, this is a package that was ordered out of the last catalog just a couple of months ago, and since then Stampin' Up! Has changed the packaging a bit, but they're the same rhinestones, and some of the shapes are the same, or I mean sizes, sorry, but the strips are gone. So if you see a little different look on the rhinestones you order, that's just because they've changed the packaging a bit. So there's the front, and then for the inside, with a little bit of Rich Razzleberry, let's add, it says, "I hope your day is as sweet as you are." So I'm just opening up that card, and we'll place that inside. And you could just, go ahead and add some more ice cream, because the stamp set does have all of these images, all the ice cream images, so you could add a little bit of ice cream on the inside if you'd like to. But there's my card with using the fun products. I love the marbled background. I'm finding I'm really using it a lot for small pieces, just additions to card fronts. And if you would like the printable PDF, go to my website, mystamplady.com. Any questions, you can ask me at chris@mystamplady.com. You can find all the supplies in my online store at shopwithmystamplady.com. And of course, if this is your first time here, you want to see more videos like this, be sure to subscribe to my channel. Thanks so much for watching.